Welcome back to the channel. I'm Don and this is Living on the Apex. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you along with me on this beautiful fall solo camping trip. We're going to be up against this wilderness area where the leaves are just bursting with vibrant colors. So I just can't wait to share with you some of these breathtaking views that are up here. But stick around because that's not all. I'm going to be sharing with you 3 must-have items that every overlander, I believe, should carry with them on their journeys. So let's get to camping. I think this will be a great location for Lady Bell and I tonight. We're going to go ahead and set up camp and start cooking dinner. Chicken quesadillas on the menu this evening. To some of you out there, that might be glamping, but that's okay. We're going to have a nice meal tonight. Got to put the chalk blocks down. Don't want this rolling down the mountain. My dog's just enjoying this time up here, just exploring and roaming around, but she found something in doing the beagle bark. Whenever you hear a beagle start doing her howl and that barking, that hunting bark, it literally sounds like she's dying. What'd you find, Belle? Please don't be sprayed by a skunk. Come here. Lady Bell. Well, I needed to get some firewood anyway, so I guess Belle dragged me out here into the woods to find out what she's barking out. Might as well pick up a few pieces of wood for a little fire tonight. Everything is set up, so I think I'm just going to have a seat and just enjoy the scenery that's around me. And then we're going to perhaps maybe do some cooking. All right, let's get to it. Item number one, a good knife. Maybe a little bit of a no-brainer. Everybody's got a knife, right? Well, there's all sorts of knives. And depending on your situation, you may want something smaller, larger, a little more multi-use per se. So I have a couple options here. And number one is this Camelus knife. I think you can get them at Walmart. Number one, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. It's lightweight. I got it as a Christmas gift in my stocking, I believe. It's got a great handle on it. It's lightweight, goes on your belt. This is the one I use the most. Now I have one that's a little bit of an overkill, no pun intended, but it belonged to my father. It's a chip-away cutlery knife, and it has one of the most beautiful designs I've ever seen on a knife, and it is extremely sharp and very capable. Now, this is probably not very practical. You're not going to take this out with you more than likely. But if you want to look like one bad dude or really impress your friends, this is a knife to have. But I think one of the must-haves, I think, for anybody out in the wilderness is having a multi-tool. Whether you're backpacking, overlanding, hiking, this is a great tool to have, regardless of its weight. I believe it's worth having. It's got all kinds of tools on it, just like a Swiss Army knife, but it has the pliers on it, which come in very handy. And I tell you, when my wife and I were backpacking up into those alpine lakes, a guy came up to us, and he was fly fishing and got his hook. His fly got hooked onto his chest, into his skin, and he couldn't get it out. And he asked me if I had a pair of pliers, and I did not have these on me. I left them in the Jeep. So I think a good multi-tool is a great tool to have while overlanding. Item number two is a good axe. Now, you obviously can see the theme here. It has to do with cutting, whether knives or axes. So, once again, it all has to do with your preference, how much space you have, how you can store it, but having a small hatchet's handy. For a little firewood. Maybe you got a solo stove, which I'm going to be using tonight, or you need even a better axe, and this one is phenomenal. Once again, this belonged to my father, and it gets the job done. And I like that both of them have a flat, blunt edge as a hammer to put stakes in or take care of what you need to do, but having a good axe is critical, I think, out overlanding. Now, obviously, I've carried a Pulaski axe on the back of my Jeep for some time now, and I even talked about it in one of my videos. In the overlanding trip that we did up into Montana, I ended up having to leave, but the guys ahead of me, they had trees down across the road that they had to clear out of the way, and all they had was an axe. And it was a good thing they had an axe. So having a good axe is handy and very important, I think, if you're going to be overlanding. Item number three is a good saw. Now, once again, you've got a couple options, and I've got a couple here. This is a bow saw with a very long blade on it. This thing has been pretty amazing, but it also takes up a lot of space, and not everybody's going to have that space. This one here, I would recommend for backpacking, camping, and even overlanding. It does not take up much space. It's extremely lightweight, made out of aluminum. It is a Sven saw, and it's got, this one happens to be the 60th anniversary edition, the Richard Swenson saw. And let me show you how easy this thing is. You just take off the wing nut, pretty simple. You pull this out, there's your blade. I apologize, my video cut out, but as you can see, it goes together really easy, and it works great. It may not be able to cut a 10-inch log, but it does a great job cutting the smaller limbs and maybe some smaller logs as well. But it, as I said, it's extremely lightweight, and I think it is a fantastic saw to have for overlanding because it doesn't take up much space at all. I highly recommend it. Well, I would call that almost a perfect day. The only thing that would have made it more perfect was having my wife here. But Lady Bill and I are having a good time. Just enjoying ourselves. And we had something happen that I've never had happen before. And maybe it's a sign of just a growing channel, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's just having delusions of grandeur. But someone drove up today and stopped their Jeep and got out. And the first thing they said, "I love your channel, man." And he was a subscriber. And he just recognized the Jeep and the setup. And he was just excited to meet me. His name's Darren. And so, hey, Darren, thanks for swinging by. I'm glad you're a subscriber, and I hope we can get out and do a overland adventure together one day. So, but I got a nice chicken quesadilla here that is nice and warm. And the day just got away from me today. It just was a very busy day trying to get everything done. But this, because it's so beautiful up here right now, and the road's a little rough, but a lot of motorcycles, side-by-sides, just one person after another. And even a lot of folks literally came right into this campsite to get photos of the view that I have here. So I must have a pretty amazing view for that many people to stop by. But anyway, it was a great day. And I'm going to thank the Lord for this meal. And I'm going to eat it. Chicken quesadilla is a great recipe and meal while you're camping. It's simple and it's quick. Don't you just love it when your dog freaks out at the shadows and the darkness? It's been an absolute beautiful day, and I think I'm going to go ahead and head to bed and get some sleep. I got to get up really early in the morning, so probably before daylight. So this is probably the end of the video. I will share some really awesome drone footage at the end of this, maybe 30 seconds or so. So I hope that you stick around long enough to watch that. But thanks so much for watching. Thanks for being a part of this channel. And we will catch you guys in the next video.
Thank you.